Hello, this is Monique DeGiorgio again with the Chama Peak Land Alliance. This last presentation in the series focuses on private land stewardship and how it complements the watershed goals of the San Juan Chama Watershed Partnership. This last presentation on private land stewardship is the final presentation in the series of 11 presentations that were given at the San Juan Chama Watershed Partnership launch in Dulce in January 2014. The Chama Peak Land Alliance launched its stewardship program about 2 years ago in partnership with the NRCS, Partners for Fish and Wildlife, Rocky Mountain Bird Observatory, and the New Mexico Land Conservancy. The goal of the program is to connect landowners to technical and financial assistance for conservation and agricultural efficiency projects. You saw this map in the first presentation, but as a reminder, this is the Alliance region. It spans the Colorado-New Mexico border from approximately Pagosa Springs, Colorado to Abiquiu, New Mexico. It is 1.3 million acres, and almost half of that land ownership is in private lands. And as you can see in this graph, the private lands are a really key component, contributing to 528,000 acres of the full 1.3 million acre region. As such, stewardship of private lands plays a critical role in the health of the watershed. Stewardship projects have taken many forms in the Alliance region. Many projects are focused on aspen rejuvenation, since aspen ecosystems create a spine of habitat through the region along the Continental Divide, as shown in yellow on this map. Another focus has been the protection of wildlife movement corridors, from summer to winter range, as seen by the mule deer and elk movement map shown on this slide. The objectives of the stewardship program are to increase the natural resource value of private lands and provide habitat for migratory birds. The Alliance region is diverse and has rivers and mountains along the Continental Divide, as well as working lands. The migratory birds in particular that the Alliance region and stewardship program are focused on include the red-naped sapsucker in aspen ecosystems and the Lewis's woodpecker in ponderosa pine habitats. We are working to achieve our goals through direct outreach to landowners in the region, engaging their interest on various conservation projects, such as conservation easements, water conservation, irrigation improvements, forest restoration and treatments, alternative energy, and more. Our first task was to send a survey to 1,100 landowners in the Alliance region. 24 landowners responded, which is a 2% response rate, which is slightly above the average of 1% for most mailings. The responses from the landowners are graphed on the following slides. In terms of agricultural practices, landowners were most interested in pasture and irrigation improvements. Forestry projects of greatest interest included reseeding and chipping. Water projects of greatest interest included conservation and efficiency and stock ponds. Overall, noxious weed management and alternative energy were of great interest to landowners, as were elk impacts and management and funding opportunities for the projects of interest. The wildlife projects that were of greatest interest included habitat enhancement, specifically for migratory songbirds, and wildlife-friendly fencing. This survey and the relationships that were initiated as a result of them has resulted in 2 projects completed in 2013 and 19 more projects in discussion or underway for 2014 and 2015. As an example of a completed project, the Kruger Farms wetland enhancement along the Navajo River in Colorado was a great success, as shown in the photos on this slide. This project also included in-stream riparian restoration along the Navajo River, as shown by these photos. Additional riparian restoration is currently underway with 9 landowners along the Navajo River in Colorado. And a tributary to the Navajo River, Spring Creek, is in the planning phase of restoration as well. In terms of wildlife corridors, the Chomita Valley that crosses the Colorado-New Mexico border into the Edward Sargent Wildlife Area just above Chama is a priority area for the Chama Peak Land Alliance. Other projects include the conservation of globally endemic plant species, such as the small-headed goldenweed on Tres Piedras Partners Ranch in New Mexico. And of course, forest restoration, thinning, and prescribed burning in the entire Alliance region is critical to restoring watershed health as an important component to our stewardship program. Finally, projects of interest on the Rio Chama and Chamita are underway in 2014 and 2015, and the Alliance hopes to engage more landowners along these rivers in New Mexico. Thank you for taking the time to watch the San Juan Chama Watershed Partnership presentation series. Please don't hesitate to contact us with any questions you have. Our contact information is on this slide. Thank you so much.